find something you love.
Okay.
If you don't have that, because you're going to live this 24/7. If you're not at work, you're thinking about it. You got to have the passion. I'm hoping my passion's coming across today in what I do, because it's not going to be easy. You're going to have every roadblock in the world come at you. That we have those days that the planes break, or we get weather delays, especially with monsoon season coming. So you just have to have something that because then it's not really work. Then you enjoy what you're doing, because you are going to live this. It becomes part of you. And then you just have to have that fortitude to believe in what you're doing, and don't sell yourself short. If I've seen a lot of people that they'll go out and they'll start something and then it gets tough and they'll be like, okay, I've got to go back to this. So, but it's certainly not for everybody, because it's a very stressful position, and making those payrolls and making the fuel payments and things, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, but it is a lot of enjoyment, as you can tell.
Yeah. Welcome to Vegas Circle Podcast with your hosts, Paki and Chris. We are people who are passionate about business, success, and culture, and this is our platform to showcase the people in our city who make it happen. On today's podcast, we're going to be discussing building a membership-based private jet charter service with the CEO and co-founder of SetJets. We got Mr. Tom Smith.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I'm happy to be here.
We're excited to have you, man. So I was glad we got a chance to talk maybe about a month ago now. And you guys are cousins for some reason. The Smith cousins. Yeah, we keep getting the Smiths. But jumping right in, man, you have got an amazing concept in development with SetJet. How did this all come together, and how did you initiate this and come out with this business plan?
So my background, when I got out of college, my brother and I started a company called TASER International, which is now Axon. It's a police products company. But before I graduated, my dad said, go do something fun. So in 1985, I got my pilot's license. And so I've been flying, I've had a passion for aviation my entire life. I've been lucky enough to get 10,000 hours as a pilot. And with TASER, I was able to actually have my own airplane and use it in a business sense. Awesome. But I always looked at this and said, unless you can spend millions to buy these airplanes, or tens or hundreds of thousands to charter them, it's really almost unobtainable. That's why you see it in the movies. You see it. It's always that, the celebrities are on the private jets, or the high rollers are on private jets. But we wanted to look at it. How can we make that affordable for everybody? And that's where the concept of SetJet came around, is buy a seat, not the jet. So we said, and one of the things I had done was went and worked with the FAA and DOT back in Washington 10 years ago. And it took 3 years working with them to explain what we wanted to do, how this concept was going to be different from everything else, that we were still going to retain the essence of private aviation, yet have the reliability of scheduling. In other words, if you're going to fly with us and you're going to go from Las Vegas to LA or to San Diego for a business meeting, you need to know you can rely on us, so that it's not, miss and don't get to go. So that putting that together took 3 years. And once we got that done, then we reincorporated the company and started it. And it's membership based. So the way it works is you do a background check for $100. So we do background check everybody, and we security check people. Then you pay $100 a month to be a member. And that allows you access then into our booking engine, where we never list a schedule. That's what's unique about us. You never see a flight. So when you go in there, everything has to come from you as the user, where you want to go, the date you want to go, and the time you want to go. And then it gives you drop downs to select airports. And if it matches, it'll tell you, here's a flight that works. If it doesn't, we'll guide you to other flights that other members may have booked. And one thing we really underestimated too, I want to talk about, is that it's become, there's a story in every seat. It's this community in the sky, because just like we're sitting here, we're facing each other. It's engaging in a conversation. When you go travel commercial, you're shoulder to shoulder with people. You're looking at the back of people's heads. It's not an environment people want to be in. It's not comfortable. Nobody likes that. But in that private jet space, you're relaxed. It's like being in your living room. It's a big, comfortable chair. You're getting served drinks, have a cabin hostess. It's conducive to conversation. So that networking that's going on among our members is incredible, and you always meet somebody new. So we've heard stories. People are making friends. They're going out and vacationing together and putting business deals together. It's that community in the sky that's really kind of a cool concept that came out of it also.
And is this more of like a subscription-based model, or do you own the planes? Or are you just finding alternative sources to utilize for people to take advantage of, or do you provide the planes themselves as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. We do not own the aircraft, or we would be considered an airline. Gotcha. So we have people that own the aircraft, and they get a tax benefit for that. And then they enter an arrangement with our operator, who then gives us 5-year exclusive access to the planes. So we operate exclusively a Challenger 850. In the commercial world, that's known as a CRJ 200. And in the commercial side, you would put 50 people inside that airplane. 2x2, rows back, 25 rows, you're going to get 50 people inside there. In our airplane, same size, there's 15 max.
Oh, so you can move around. You got a lot of space.
Ton of space, and it's awesome. Club seating. We've got sofas. It's just a much relaxed, large space. Every paint job is different. Every interior is different. Again, to maintain that exclusive private jet feel, because we don't want people to feel like you don't see a lot of our branding. It's very subtle. It's about the experience. We want people to enjoy that travel experience. So think of us more like Airbnb and Uber, right? We use technology to connect the use of the assets. So that's what we are, a technology-based membership company that allows you to then book through these exclusive access that we have to these airplanes.
So how many states do you guys actually fly to? Is it, I remember you saying when we talked on the phone, was the Arizona, obviously Vegas, and then what's the other markets?
Yeah, so we're headquartered out of Scottsdale, but we are opening a new terminal here in Las Vegas. We're under construction right now. In fact, I think Vegas is,
we need you.
I think Vegas is going to become our biggest market. I think Vegas is where it's at. We made a decision a year ago to move out of the San Francisco Bay Area, was our original hub, and we moved it here.
Awesome.
Because I really do think Las Vegas is going to be the future in this Southwest space, besides Phoenix. Everybody's kind of leaving California.
But we agree with you. We agree with you for sure. Yeah.
And where we fly is you can go out of Las Vegas to Cabo San Lucas nonstop. You can go to San Diego. You can go to Orange County, LAX, Van Nuys, Burbank, Salt Lake City, and Aspen. And of course, Scottsdale. Cabo is really, it surprised us. I thought it would be like a seasonal route, but here we are in the heat of the summer, and it's still, we're getting just incredible support for going down to Cabo from both Scottsdale and from Vegas.
Yeah, kind of going back to the starting of the process, you have your pilot license, you obviously been a flyer, understand kind of that dynamic of it, but trying to go into this different avenue and be able to create this business model that I would assume hasn't been at least there before, and overcoming some of those hurdles and challenges, what initially drove you to want to create this business model? And then as you're kind of going through and developing it and kind of, implementing some of these strategies and going against the FAA and going through all these processes and continuing to overcome those objectives, what kind of kept you motivated to go down this path?
Well, I love aviation. That's when I can be like, whenever I go in a plane, I turn left and go up front and everybody goes to the right. I love aviation. So I was always looking at a way to get involved and, again, bring it to more people that would have access to this fantastic way to travel.
Sure.
Also, because of my background coming out of TASER and working with law enforcement and regulators, I said, all right, I want to make sure up front that the FAA and DOT know what we're doing, so we don't get that knock on the door down the road and say, hey, what are you guys doing? So we wanted to make sure that what the model was going to do met all of the regulatory requirements. And so we did that up front and spent 3 years going through that. They actually helped us develop our software, which is, again, another hurdle for somebody coming into the space. And we have a great relationship with them and talk to them all the time. And then it really came out of, how do you launch this? Where do you go? And obviously we lived in Scottsdale. We're here in the Southwest. So you look at the cities where people are traveling a lot. And that's, we selected the San Diego market, and, here in Phoenix, we're all cooking, it's 110 plus. 100%. So where's everybody want to go from these two cities? They want to go out to the coast to get away during the heat of the months. And those people, Vegas, you got the Golden Knights just won the cup, and you got the Raiders coming in, and you've got, everything else is coming here to Vegas. It's not only an entertainment town, it's also a new business town. You got Sumlin and everything else that's going on here. And I'm seeing that. We want to be a part of it. So in what we're doing and bringing in this private aviation experience is really, I think, an exciting chapter for us, because we're going to grow with Vegas. Because I really do think Vegas is taking that next step. You got F1 coming this fall, all the conventions, everything that's going on here. Everybody's coming to this location now. And so I think this is a perfect place for us to be, in addition to where we're at in Scottsdale, because we really don't want to be doing business in California.
California's tough place to do some business at. I know the number one question is cost, right? Like I know you mentioned it's about $99. Did I hear you correctly? It's $99 background check,
correct,
and then $99 a month for the membership services.
Correct.
So what would a flight cost us? So say Chris and I want to go to, let's say, Cabo, for example.
Yeah, this is the best part.
Okay.
$750 per seat per hour. So you can fly for $750 to fly on a private jet from here to Scottsdale, here to San Diego, here to LA. So think of that as a per hour cost.
That's not bad.
Cabo's 2 hours, so it'd be $1,500 each way.
Wow.
But if you're going to charter that airplane, you're going to spend north of $15,000 to $35,000.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Is to give you a comparison, because you're paying for the entire airplane. So instead of paying for 15 seats and you're only going to use 2, now you just pay for the seat you're using.
That makes so much sense. Yeah. That's a hell of an idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. I applaud that. So you said it took 3 years, right? So What year are we talking about?
That
So
was
this 3 years ago now, like during the pandemic?
This was
or-
2011, 12, and 13. 2012, 11, 12. We got the
Okay.
letter from the FAA and DOT signed in 2013.
Okay.
Then we so I did all that first. Then we
Got it.
incorporated the company in 2014. And then it took a long time to get people to, you want me to buy a plane that I don't get to use, I'm going to give to you for 5 years? What? Why?
Yeah.
So we had to put all that together, and we launched our first flight in December 2019.
Okay.
Since that date, we've flown about 6,300 flights now and 32,000 passengers.
Oh, that's fantastic. And when you're trying to identify that target customer, who is that? Is it the business person or somebody who's looking to go on vacation, or is it a combination? Or how do you see the the breakout of your kind of clientele, the majority?
Yeah, before COVID, it was 50-50. We had the business travelers and we had the leisure travelers. Obviously, going to Cabo, you're going down there for vacation, and San Diego, but you're going to Orange County or LA it's business.
Yeah.
But COVID happened and business travel pretty much went away, right? But everybody still wanted to go visit their families. They wanted to go visit, second homes or whatever the case may be. But still today, we're really heavily weighted to that leisure side, but I'm starting to see it come back where more and more businesses now are starting to look at it. In fact, one of our main customers here in Vegas he's got an elite membership for all of his business partners to be able to travel with us, because they do a lot in San Diego and in LA and even up in the San Jose area when we bring those flights back. So we are seeing more and more business travelers, because what we also give you back is your most valuable resource, time. You don't have to go there 2 hours ahead of time. You can show up 20 minutes before the flight. You wait in a private terminal, get boarded with a cabin hostess. You're served top shelf liquors, snacks on board. And
That's
it's
all included?
all included in that price point. There's no extras. And whether you buy an hour before that flight or 4 months, everybody pays the same. There's no dynamic pricing. So that that's a benefit of the membership. I'm not saying, oh, you're last minute, I'm going to charge you double.
Yeah.
Everybody's the same. You pay that $100 a month to be a member. Everybody gets that same benefit of $750 per seat.
The Vegas Circle podcast is brought to you by RAC Financial. They help new and established businesses with simple, secure, and reliable payment processing. RAC's credit card merchant processing services are unmatched. Visit racfinancial.com today and mention Vegas Circle podcast.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
man.
that sounds like a great experience. You sold me at Top Shelf Liquors.
Top Shelf Liquor, and the plus, like I was just telling you before we started, like I just flew back in from Boston, and you're right, you had 2 hours, 3 hours ahead of time, and you got to deal with the 5-hour flight, but you're enjoying yourself on obviously a private jet. So that's pretty awesome. Tell me about, so what's the rules and regulations with private jets? Can you bring whatever you want as far as like bags, like 2-bag max, or how does all that work?
Yeah, so we do, can bring 2 check bags, so 2 of the large bags. If you bring more, we just charge $50, because again, this airplane was designed to carry 50 people. We're only taking 15, so we have space. Then we're just really charging for the weight, because you're going to pay fuel to carry extra weight.
Got it.
You have one carry-on in the cabin, because we do have to make sure it's a secured cabin. But one of our other big benefits is you can bring your pets. Right. So you go on a commercial airline right now, unless that pet fits underneath the seat in his carrier, you can't bring them anymore. They don't really transport them.
Yeah.
It's one of our biggest benefits that our members love. We have pets on almost every flight.
You pay extra for?
If they're less than 20 pounds, no, or you pay up to $150 if it's a Newfoundland, which we have. Buttercup is a Newfoundland that flies with us. Because you're going to take up a big space. But we love pets. We have a lot of pets travel with us.
That's awesome. What do you think is like one of your biggest challenges? Of course, I'm assuming dealing with the FAA and all of those things, but what would you say is the biggest challenge of really getting it launched and really just marketing and getting it out there?
What you just said is the biggest challenge. It's marketing, making people aware of us. And most people still don't know that this service is available. We've been doing this for 3 years. So it's because people $750 to fly private. No. Or if you see an advertisement for us, they're like, oh, that's just for the celebrities. So our challenge is trying to let people understand we're disrupting the travel experience. We are $750. Come try us. It's $100 a month. There's no long-term contracts. So we get 2 responses. First, wait, this is too good to be true.
I'll be honest with you, that's the first thing I thought. Yeah.
Then once they fly with us, they're like, I'm not doing any other way. We see people actually adjust their schedules to fit within flying with us once they have done that.
Wow. So backtracking a little bit. So you basically choose when you want to fly. So let's say, for example, it's Thursday or whatever it is, you pick and choose, hey, I want to go to Phoenix, from Vegas, approximately this, like kind of walk us through that process, I guess is the best way to explain it.
Yeah. So the model is set up for 4 1-hour round trips per day, right? So the plane is a fixed asset, right? So it can go from here to San Diego and back. It can go from here to LA and back, and can go from here to Salt Lake and back, and here to Scottsdale and back. That's within the duty day of the crew right? Because they have certain limitations that our operator has to fit within.
Got it.
But the model is designed that we could do that 4 times a day, 7 days a week as we build our membership. So right now we've got about 3,000 members. So we don't fly, for example, Tuesdays because it's the lightest day of the week until we get more members. So as demand increases, more availability increases. And that's our number one request from members is more availability, because every day we want to be going to these city pairs, but until our membership builds, we just can't, we don't have that flexibility yet. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And that's really what we're driving: membership, driving awareness, things like your program to help people get educated on what we're doing, so that we do grow that membership, so that we can get more butts in the seats, which is going to be more availability for the planes.
And is that 4 flights per location per day, or is
per
it
airplane?
Per airplane.
So we're going to base 2 aircraft here. We'll have 3 in Scottsdale. Eventually that'll probably flip. So each of the aircraft can do that schedule.
Wow.
And we have 5 of them in our fleet available to us.
How long did it take to turn a profit from being able to go from, because I know it's got to be a lot. We still aren't there yet.
Okay. So even with everything that we've done, we're targeting profitability next year.
Good for you.
So one of the things,
which is awesome, within 5 years. Yes.
Yeah,
awesome.
It does. It takes a lot of fortitude. It takes a lot of support from our investors. We wouldn't be here without them. And it takes support from the members. So they all have to go hand in hand. So I do try to communicate with them on a regular basis, keep them updated on what we're doing, but it is expensive. If we have these planes and they're, people don't know about us yet and they're going out with 2s and 3s on board, we're not making any money in that case. So we are trying to get those numbers up above, we need to be averaging about 7+ on each leg to get to that point. And we're getting close. In Scottsdale, we're there. It's taken a long way. Here in Vegas, it's a launched market. We just started it 6 months ago. So that's why we're trying to get the word out. We're spending a lot of time here trying to put deals together with some of the resorts, because they're bringing people in for their casinos every night, and business travelers. And it's really just an awareness and campaign for it. Because again, I can't go out and advertise the flights. I got to say, what a great experience. Come give us a try.
And as you continue to expand to different markets, what is the longest flight you could go? Can you fly to, Boston, Miami? Is that
these planes? These planes could do that, but really they were designed for these 1 to 2 hour hops. So we want to kind of keep it in this area, because now it does change. If you go from here to Boston, now you're talking, it's going to be 500, a flight. So it changes the whole dynamic of the pricing. So right now we want to just focus here in the Southwest, try and really get established here. But we do have plans to do coast to coast. We do have Miami, New York, Texas, even international down the road. But we can't get out over our skis until we really get established here. And then we're going to go back to the Bay Area from here. That's another huge demand that we're going to get. We're getting a lot of requests now for Denver, for, we're already in Salt Lake City, for Boise, for Seattle. So if you kind of look at that area of 1 to 2, 2.5 hours, it really fits well in this model.
There's a lot of places that people are having high demand for.
The first time I kind of heard about this, not talk about competitors, but I heard about JSX, right? Remember
JSX,
the Marquis Jet, and he was selling the hours. But what do you think kind of separates you from the competition that's out there? I know Marquis sold years ago, but what would you say is kind of your separation?
Yeah, so a lot of those guys like FlexJet, NetsJets, you're still spending millions to buy in to have an ownership piece of the aircraft.
Okay.
And then you're still spending tens of thousands because you have to pay for that entire airplane.
And the maintenance and
everything, right? So even if you buy into the plane, you're still paying, $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 an hour to fly that airplane, because that's what it's cost to fly these.
Okay.
Our case is no different. If I don't have 15 people on there, I'm still paying that same fixed cost to fly that airplane.
Okay.
So some other JSX, they're an operator here.
Oh yeah, yes,
right.
Yep.
So they got the convenience, right, that you fly out of the terminal, but their service and their onboard experience, it's just like an airline, right? They have the trolley cart, they have the 2 and 1, and they're putting 30 people in there. Ours is truly a luxurious private jet where it's 4 club, it's a sofa, it's 15. So it's night and day in our service. I'll put it up against anybody.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm blessed to have an incredible team from my ground ops, my onboard cabin hostesses, that everybody that touches the customer, the members up front, our white glove service start to finish to make it super relaxing and convenient for you and enjoyable.
Yeah. When we get signed up for this.
Yeah, really.
Do you guys take investors? Is this like a publicly traded company, or is it?
Yeah, it's a great question. We are actually just announced last week that we are going to be publicly traded by the end of the year. We'll be on NASDAQ. So we just put out a press release about that. So
I'm going to have to buy some stock.
I've done this a couple of times before. So this will be my third time down this path of taking a company public. And it'll really change the dynamic for the company, you know, from taking us from a real startup, and we'll be on a micro cap. And I think that'll really help us on the publicity side as well. So we do have a lot of investors. A lot of our investors were members first and said, same thing. How do I support this and invest in what you guys are doing? And that's now we're taking it to the next level with going public.
That's awesome. I support. I'm glad we're able to get into some of the details of it. With us being like a business show, what would be the advice that you would give to somebody that wants to start their own business? Obviously, you've been able to really throw yourself in, and it took a long time, and a lot of patience. But what would you say to them?
Find something you love. If you don't have that, because you're going to live this 24/7. If you're not at work, you're thinking about it. You got to have the passion. I'm hoping my passion's coming across today and what I do. That's really because it's not going to be easy. You're going to have every roadblock in the world come at you. It's, you know, we have those days that the planes break or we get weather delays, you know, especially with monsoon season coming. So you just have to have something that because then it's not really work. Then you enjoy what you're doing because you are going to live this. It becomes part of you. And then you just have to have that fortitude to believe in what you're doing and don't sell yourself short. If I've seen a lot of people that they'll go out and they'll start something and then it gets tough and they'll be like, okay, I've got to go back to this. So, but it's certainly not for everybody because it's a very stressful position, you know, and, you know, making those payrolls and making the fuel payments and things, you know, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, but it is a lot of enjoyment, as you can tell.
Yeah. No, we're rooting for you, man. We always asked our guests about restaurants in Vegas. I know you live in Scottsdale, but you travel here a lot. Can you give us one gem or a favorite restaurant you like in Vegas?
Actually, there's several. We've got a partnership actually with Toca Madera over at Aria.
Really
so
good.
they're also with us in Scottsdale.
Okay.
So I also like Wally's over at Resorts World. I love going to Delilah when you can get in there at the Wynn. So we get around there, and it's awesome. You know, it's this town has just got amazing food. That's one thing that people don't know. Vegas and Phoenix, we both have really incredible restaurants.
I think we get enough credit, man. And now we're starting to get the credit, I think. All the top chefs are here. And I agree with you. Toca Madera is excellent. Delilah's excellent. I haven't been to Wally's yet. I got to check Wally's out. It's at Resort World, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And it's we stay there quite a bit because we're putting some relationships together with all these resorts, trying to get them to have their clients travel with us. Because remember back before COVID, you know, if you were a mid-level gambler, they'd send a private jet for you. And now those dynamics have kind of changed. And we're kind of filling in some of those roles that, you know, now $750, you get to fly private. So we want to put those relationships because we move you from A to B, but our members are really looking for that experience, right? So trying to now, where are you going to eat? Where are you going to stay? The questions that we're having here, we want to make sure we're partnered with the right companies and experiences that our members are going to enjoy. So we are building out an entire membership section of car rentals, hotel partners, restaurants, to really make it a seamless experience that everybody that we're working with, from the travel that we provide to the services they provide, people, that's what our members are looking for. And we're going to continue to build that out.
That's literally a home, especially being in Vegas. I'm happy you guys are doing it. So 6 months ago, you guys launched in Vegas, right? My understanding. And you guys are building the headquarters here. We
are building, at the terminal. We're going to be right in Atlantic off of Tropicana. We're going to have our own, it's about 3,000 square feet. It's going to be very modern, very upscale feel, direct ramp access right there. So we're very excited about that space. It should open in October.
I saw your Scottsdale is elite. Very, very nice.
Yeah, same look and feel online.
Yeah, I saw the YouTube, so it's sharp. What else are you concentrating on for 2023 to kind of finish up strong?
Oh boy, growing the membership is number one. Making us, you know, Vegas, we're trying to plant that flag here, really focus here. We're here a lot. Probably 2-3 times a month right now with a terminal in construction, and really trying to grow that membership and make sure people are aware of us. And then obviously going public, that's consumes a lot of my time, a lot more than I care to, because I really enjoy this part of it. So I try to mix more of this in where we're doing television and awareness and working with different companies here to help promote their business and our business. So, you know, rising tide raises all ships. So the more we can do to work with them and provide a great experience, the more people are going to want to travel and look forward to doing that. And remember, hey, I can travel with SetJet to go have that time in Vegas, or, you know, get my work done when I'm on that flight back for a business meeting.
Well, look him up, man. Is there anything that we forgot to ask you that you want to kind of leave us out on?
I don't think so. I think we covered a
that's
lot
good
of it.
stuff.
Man.
That was really great.
No, you were solid, man. And I gotta definitely check you out. We should have did this interview on the private jet.
We should.
we messed that up. That was what my wife was saying. So we should definitely did that. But
well, we can do a follow-up and get you guys out there and show you the terminal and go and sit out on the plane.
Yeah,
That'd be
100%.
great.
We'd love to do that. Where can people reach out? Can you mention like the social handles and things like that?
So yeah, it's our website is setjet.com. That'll give you, that's where you can join as a member. It's mobile friendly, so you can do it on your phone. You book your flights through that. Our Instagram is @setjet. We do probably every other day you're seeing posts from us that are really highlighting that experience. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook. So we really are digital first, trying to promote that side of it. And really the website, we just finished, our marketing team did a phenomenal job upgrading our website. And so it really answers all the questions now that people have about it, and the pictures of the plane, and get to see the experience between Insta and Facebook and the website. Really, it answers a lot of the questions. And then if you don't get everything answered, we've got a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. member services team that's always there. It's a live person that answers your phone right in Scottsdale. We'll probably have a second team here to help you with any questions that aren't answered or that you think that might not be on the website.
No, you guys hit all the bases covered.
Yeah, this is solid, man. This is a great business opportunity. We'll definitely, Chris and I will figure out how we got to invest, before you guys go public. But we appreciate you sitting down with you, man. We check us out at vegascircle.com and support what Tom Smith's doing over at SetJet. So thank you, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was great, man. And you're solid. You got